Well, we finally made it to the end of a multi-day rainstorm. Things have dried up around here. Today we're going to be installing the outhouse door.
You know what? I think the ground might be settling.
We brought the door out of storage, getting it unpackaged. I'm going to take out this pin here so the door can open. I'm trying to get this door dry fit, but the measurements don't seem to be adding up. This door is a 30 by 80, and we have an opening that's 32 by 82. For some reason the door seam is just a really tight fit here, and we're trying to figure out what might have went wrong. Alright, we discovered there was just some plastic pieces attached to the bottom of the door here. So we're going to take those off, and that should allow the door to fit better. We're also taking a look at the instructions. Probably should have done that right off the bat. Well, we put caulking under the door, and now we're getting the shims out to get it as plumb as we can.
Okay. That door's in there. Good. You can add. We need to add caulking along this seam for when rain hits it. We don't want it to get behind the trim.
But the door's all secure, like you said, 6 screws. Everything is, the door is all plumb. So we're going to be installing the door handle and the bolt lock. Not that we need a bolt lock, but this is kind of the only stuff they sold at Home Depot. A full set of...
Isn't it just a placeholder?
No, it's an actual bolt lock.
Oh, well, we'll have a bolt lock then. Great.
It's a big milestone here. The outhouse is officially dried in completely. We've got our door installed. We got the door handle, the deadbolt. That also put caulking around the whole perimeter of the door. And in we go. Gets pretty dark in here when you close the door. There's still a slight light coming through the crack in the door. It's a pretty cheap door. But for an outhouse, it's acceptable. The top holes up here actually let a bit of light in. It's closed. Yeah, little bits of light. So eventually we're gonna have to get some electrical lighting in here. We're thinking just a 12-volt system, running off maybe a small little miniature solar panel on the side of the building. Have a light switch in there with some LED lights on the roof, maybe hanging from the rafters. One of the big ticket items that we have to do before winter is to winterize our well. Up until now, our well has just been coming out as just a raw piece of poly pipe. But this afternoon, my dad and I pulled out the entire well assembly. It was quite heavy. We were really struggling because it was completely full of water. Over the last couple hours, Dad has been fixing what we did originally. Our original well assembly was very crude and temporary.
Yeah.
This is the well that we installed 3 months ago. It's got a little bit of rust on it. Dad's already fixed this whole thing up. We got a nice high tensile strength rope that's going to act as our safety line. He also wound the main poly pipe with the wiring an insane number of times with electrical tape. So there's no way anything's gonna unplug or get wet or anything. every 2 feet or so, put more electrical tape to keep the poly pipe and the electrical line together and to make sure everything's the same length.
But it goes fast, so I've gone through 4 rolls already.
This is your workbench, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot better working at waist height than working on the ground.
So at what point are you going to install this T-valve? This is a auto drain valve. Once the water in the pipe gets below 5 psi, water will come out of this faucet here. So it's a freeze protection measure.
As soon as I cut the poly at the right location, then we can put it in.
We're going to be putting this thing 9 feet down from the head of the well. This is the well seal that we were using, and we realized that the middle hole here is actually larger than it needs to be, or larger than it should be. It's like a 1.5 inch diameter, and we need a diameter that is meant for a 1 inch pipe. So if this pipe goes in the center here, the pipe doesn't sit on the top of the well seal, it actually falls into the hole. So I'm going to be constructing a piece of wood that will go across here and add as a brace so that this thing will sit right on the block of wood, and it'll be supported so the pipe aims straight down. So I just cut this wood block. It's going to go right between the bolts. Now I just have to drill a 1 inch hole down the center. So I got a couple different hole saws here that I can choose from. We got this block now that can sit right over the top of the well seal. Here's the barb connector. It'll go up through the well seal into the block of wood and then up to the 90-degree angle.
How do you know when you've done it enough?
Just a matter of time.
Well, you've already done this, so...
Yeah, this is like deja vu. We did this only 3 months ago to put the well in.
I wasn't part of that. I guess I was doing tractor stuff at the time.
Yeah. Oh, we also need the clamps.
Put them both on in the same direction. Just 2 clamps or 3?
We're doing... let's do 3 because we have 7 of them.
Okay. That's the whole stack.
There we go. We got all the clamps on.
Tape and wiring.
We have 3 clamps used up here because this is where the most weight is being held. And plus we have an extended length barb, so we could use 3. So all that's left is to finish taping up the wiring. And we should be ready to actually start putting it back down the well. We have both the electrical cable and our safety rope fished through the well seal. The electrical tape is keeping the electrical wire and the poly pipe all together. We've pre-measured the entire length of the poly pipe to be exactly about 120 feet, which will put the well pump directly in the center of the column of water inside the well. We just finished lowering the well assembly back down into the well casing, and this is what we ended up with. We got my trusty block of wood here. Pipe is resting directly on it, and we're tying off our safety line around the casing.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of cardboard here just to make sure this rope doesn't get shredded on the well seal.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put some bushings in.
We got some brass fittings to convert from our 1 inch pipe down into a garden hose.
Working so far.
Well, we decided to pull the travel trailer out.
Why don't you
with my truck. We moved it out away from the bank over here to get a better look at how the parking lot has been eroding. There's been cracks developing along this edge. This one right here is pretty bad. This is where one of the feet of the levelers were. It's like sunk into the ground.
Bank is slumping.
Yep, over here we got some serious slumpage. This is a good 4 or 5 inches of slump. And then of course there's the large amount of surface erosion that happened here. And this pile of gravel is also slumping. We pulled the trailer out to a safe spot in the middle of the turnaround. No chance of it falling down the hill there. And there's now enough room to get the tractor in here. So we're gonna start bringing dirt that's over there on the other side of those log piles. And we're gonna start filling in and trying to reinforce this bank.
I feel better about it not being close to this edge. Those rainstorms were unnerving me. I thought,
yeah.
This one night I heard boulders just rolling down the hill from the rain erosion.
So we also needed access to this area over here. This is where we're going to be building the power post for the RV. We have...
We want to bring it in to about here, right?
Yeah, we have electrical cabling that goes all the way out to there, but yeah, we want to bring it to right about here in line with this rock.
Yeah.
So we have to dig out the pipe, cut it, and then get the 90-degree angle to come up right about here.
Yeah, that'll make the job easier because we'd have to fill in this bank like another 100 yards of material.
This over here has also been eroding.
Right.
So we're going to use the tractor to kind of reinforce the bank over here, put some more material down. And eventually we're going to be putting a plastic sheeting down to prevent rain erosion.
Look, there's a crack there even.
Dad has been tractor man the last couple days. There used to be a large pile of dirt here, and he's been using the tractor to move all the dirt. You can see where he's been driving. He's been moving all of the dirt to attempt to repair the erosion that's been happening on some of these banks. This whole area used to be sunken, and he patched it up with a whole bunch of fill material. Over here is where the trailer used to be, and now it's a work site. A large amount of dirt fill was brought in here to reinforce the bank. The tree stumps that used to be here are completely buried now. We're getting ready to install the travel trailer power post. We're gonna have it right here. Do a 90-degree turn up, and then we're gonna have a nice wood post come up with an RV outlet box. Yeah, we're about 2 weeks away from leaving this property, so we're getting the last few errands done.
Yep. If you can call them errands.
Yeah, they're a little bit more than errands. I'm working on clearing out this cargo trailer because we're going to need it to transport personal items to my apartment. Got a couple more pieces of plywood in there, and I've started packing away all of our scrap lumber here and just trying to get things more organized so there's more room in here. Dad's over here making progress on the travel trailer power pole.
Okay, well that fitting's on.
Sweet.
Can you hand me that big pipe? I'll go ahead and work on this one because it's a big mess.
It's time to get one of these posts ready. These are both cut the same length, so we can use either one of them.
I don't need the box cutters anymore. It's the bad thing about working in muddy conditions is the dirt sticks to the wires. They're not all the same length, so. Well, whatever that guy's doing, he's really busy. Okay.
And the yellow is the actual glue.
I didn't think this yellow took primer, but the can says it does. Like, this is the front, right?
Yep.
I don't know how it opens, but...
Yeah, that's the front. There's a latch on the front of it. You just push it in, and it comes out. Just a little bit lower than flush, I think.
It looks like you want to keep that black washer. We got 1-inch PVC, so.
Okay. And then you have these rigid things. Do these need to go around it at all, or?
It goes on the inside.
Does this need to be installed first?
Let's see where this goes. Just go around, tighten a little, go around. You can do anything, metal, plastic, around.
You got a bunch of dripping on the front.
Yeah.
Should I go get a paper towel to wipe that up?
No, it'll just dry. Okay, that's good.
Well, we moved a couple things around. We moved this a little bit lower and retightened it. We also dropped the box a little bit because we had measured wrong. We're just about ready to start wiring this thing up. We got a couple feet of slack out the top. Dad's gonna start burying the bottom of this pole. And then it will be in its final location. We're gonna make sure it's nice and straight up and down. It's starting to look like a utility pole. Little power pole here on the end of the parking lot. How's it looking?
Right about there is where it goes.
We're done with the power post. Dad's just working on finishing backfilling. We got some garbage left over. Let's go take a look at it. We purchased some drywall, and we decided that we're going to be putting drywall on the lower portion of the back wall to make sure that there's a backing wall for behind the toilet. Part of that is we don't want any creepy crawlies coming up behind the toilet system. Dad's been working on cutting all the drywall to fit. Is all the drywall cut to shape, or does it need to be cut some more?
I just cut that first piece, and there's one more piece to cut from the sidewall.
Okay.
That's all we're doing. We're just doing a couple pieces.
Dad also finished organizing the Connex here, got all the remaining pieces of plywood, all the remaining OSB into the Connex here from the cargo trailer. All that's left is just some of the sheetrock that we're going to be installing. And this cargo trailer is emptied out, ready to transport some personal items when move into the apartment.
Yeah. I haven't been in like we've been primitive living for 4.5 months now.
Yeah.
So like to go back into like a city dwelling place.
Return to civilization.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting. It's like, I don't know, going to a motel or something on a trip.
Yeah.
27.5, 50, and 77.5.
So we're just gonna put two more here, one here, and one here.
Yep. You want it to be flush, basically. Is it nice and tight up against the wall though?
Yeah, it pulled it in.
Pulled it in. That's probably good.
Oh, it's because this bottom piece is not pushed all the way flush.
So yeah, I measured it so exact that it's like pressure fit.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, and then do 2 more up the field. Just barely goes further than flush. Nice. Okay, do the door corner here. I mean, this bottom sheet would be good for all the toiletry. So the reason we're putting drywall in an outhouse is we didn't like the idea of spiders crawling up behind us when we're going. It's nice that the drill has a light, because when we close this door, it's pitch black in here.
Yep.
And then, do you want me to draw some lines for you for the verticals?
Yeah, it could help.
I could just go get the level and just create some plumb lines.
Sure.
When it's not raining, you can really cruise and get stuff done.
All done with the drywall. Now it's time to bring in the toilet assembly. Well, we got the toilet assembly in through the door. And that pipe down there is going to go right between these 2x4s. And eventually we'll have a pipe come up through this front wall here.
Yeah.
And go up to a urinal on the wall right here. Oh, there we go. It's in place. So what's going to be over here on the right?
That shelf behind you. That shelf is gonna...
This shelf is going to be right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So this concludes the work that we're doing on the outhouse for this year. There's a lot more to do. You know, we got some plumbing work to do. We got some urine diverter. We also have a urinal. We have this urinal that we're going to be attaching to the wall. Probably about right about here. And then the pipe that's under the toilet assembly will come up here and attach to the bottom of it. Dad's getting the sawdust trash can that we've been collecting sawdust and ash. And we're going to just place it over here in the corner.
It's sitting on the floor in the shelter, so it's got all that black silt on the bottom.
We're ready to button up the outhouse. We got a trash bin in here, but it's full of a whole bunch of wood shavings. So we're ready to close up for winter. Well, it's September 25th. We've been waiting for a day that isn't rainy. And the ground has been slowly drying out over the last couple days. It's still a little bit wet. And today we're going to be putting this plastic sheeting all along the bank over here to try to prevent erosion over the winter. So Dad just measured that it's a 20-foot drop on this side, and then over here is a 25-foot drop. So we're likely going to have to do 2 layers, one at the bottom and one at the top. We have these landscaping staples. They're about 6 inches, and we've got, I think, 1,000 in here, so we're not going to be running out. Got this corner done. It's wrapped all the way around this corner, the bank. We also did the corner over there on the other side of the parking lot. We did the corners first because those are the easiest. Now we're trying to figure out how to do it for the center area, because this is a good 20 foot to 30 feet down, and we don't have a good way to keep the tarp halfway up the bank. The 6-inch staples aren't really working out too well because they're just too short and the dirt is just too soft.